What does the word architecture mean to you? When you talk about architecture, what is it that you're specifically thinking about?
Yeah, I mean, I think sort of in an informal way. I mean, architecture is all those sort of big picture decisions that you make about the overall structure of your application or system, right? I mean, there is sort of a, I mean, there is a more formal definition of it, which I pulled up just so that I could quote it correctly. But it's like the software architecture of a computing system is the set of structures needed to reason about the system, which comprise the software elements, whatever they are, the relations amongst them, and the properties of both. So you've got a set of these elements that have relationships between them. And it's a tool to enable you to reason about your application, in which you could just sort of distill that down into, it's like a bunch of boxes and lines, right?
Yeah.
That's what sort of architects are famous for drawing. But then if you think, well, what are the nature? And sort of one of the interesting aspects of architecture is that, if you think about, we go back into the real world, because you could say that's where the term has its origins, right? Kind of interesting. I've never really thought about the origin of the term, but imagine that you have a building that's under construction. I mean, that has an architecture, and depending on who you are, which stakeholder in that building, you have quite a different view of what architecture is, right? So if you're a structural engineer and you're concerned with, I don't know, steel and concrete, if it was a high rise, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas if you're an electrical engineer, you're concerned with all sort of wires and stuff, right? Where in the plumber, it's like tubes and pipes, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So it's actually, architecture is actually multidimensional, and software is the same.